He's above Tettles. Oh, dude, one second. I gotta move. All right, everyone, close your eyes. All right. Oh. Give it 50% opacity. Wait, can I do that? Camera. Properties. Color space, color range. I don't think so. Maybe I could do a filter. Filters. Effect filters. Add. Chroma key, color key. It's something like that, right? Wouldn't it be something like that? Color correction? Okay, how do I... Oh, you're right, you're right. Wait, okay, let me see. You can kind of see it, I can become... Oh, that's good. I can do all kinds of stuff here. Oh, I can do that. Oh, boy. Dude, that is excellent. I'm gonna keep this in my bag. Hat pull. You can already see I'm not wearing it. Bro, when was the last time I wore a hat? Yo, is anyone else like me? Where Twitter is an absolute fucking hellscape. It's so bad. I don't know why I subject myself to this, man. It's crazy. It's just like all right-wing grifting or like fights or racist stuff, and it's just so bad. It never used to do this, man. It never used to be like this. It used to just have like gamer stuff. Did you all follow that stuff yesterday? The girl that had like higher levels of testosterone, and then this entire app was calling her a trans man. Holy shit. Oh my god. What a bunch of fucking idiots, man. Dude, but you know what that discourse did make me realize is someone made like a Michael Phelps comparison, and I didn't realize how genetically bonkers Michael Phelps is. So let me actually get this right. I want to make sure I get all of it right, but there's one part of it that's absolutely crazy. Here we go. He has double jointed elbows and knees, specifically in his ankles too. So he can like his what do you do with your feet when you swim? You kick, I guess, right? Like his like leg kicks just produce more force. He has like extremely long arms, right? And here's the thing that's crazy. And this isn't even a swimming thing or a water thing. That he as an athlete produces 50% less lactic acid than not the average athlete, the average Olympic athlete. Do you guys know what lactic acid is? Do you guys have you guys ever felt sore after you've worked out, or like have you ever felt fatigued into your workout with your muscles? Like, it's not really what that is, but like lactic acid is pretty much what makes you feel tired in like parts of your body, right? Like, so like if you wonder why people take ice baths after like a really hard game, it's to like constrict blood flow, and then like new blood comes in and washes out some of the lactic acid. If you wonder why people use those, like why they get massages, why they use those like compression stuff, it's all lactic acid stuff. Dude, producing 50% less lactic acid is legit fucking broken. Like that is like a superpower. I can't believe that's true. Like legit, that is a crazy proc. Yeah, dude, imagine if he just randomly was like an accountant. Imagine if he just never swam. Dude's working at fucking Walmart. I mean, honestly, if you produce 50% less lactic acid, you would have to absolutely hate sports and hate activity to not be great. Like that, you're just actually playing on a different level than everyone else. What is it? He shouldn't be able to compete against men. Clearly, he's an advanced being. Oh, yeah. All the discourse from yesterday was crazy. You know what's also weird is that like boxing match, that girl who like said she got punched so hard that she immediately stopped the fight, she beat that same girl, the one that everyone was calling a man for no reason. She beat that girl in last Olympics. So you're telling me you beat her last time, and then she punched you so hard this time that an Olympic boxer said, "I'm not doing this anymore," and just quits? I feel like that's the craziest fucking thing ever. Like, how do you go to the Olympics and you're a boxer and you get boxed, and then you're just like, no way, I'm fucking out of here? Least dramatic Italian. Yeah. You think there's a 6'9", 280-pound LeBron clone who hated basketball? Yeah, maybe. But like, yeah, I mean, are there people that just don't find sports fun that would have been incredible athletes? Yeah, absolutely. No question. Somewhere there's a world first quality raider who never played WoW. Yeah, they're probably pro in another game. There's also probably people who could have been a world first raider in WoW, a pro league player that chose to be like a fucking New York stock guy, or selling insurance, or being a software engineer, or whatever. Max, have you heard of this fellowship game coming out WoW-like, focusing on Endgame? Max, did you see there's a 6'11", 250-pound defenseman who just committed to Penn State's hockey program? He's 16. What? One second. No, what's his name? That's the most insane thing someone's ever said. How are you... Dude, being 6'11" at 16 is not very normal. That is not good. I have played with a few like really really tall hockey players. Um it's definitely different. Like I think if you're that tall, it's actually harder to be a hockey. Like once you play competitive hockey, like right around like 14 to 16, they start weeding out the kids that are not going to be like 6 foot. Um, but actually, if you see people that are like 6'6" and up, it's actually really hard for them to be good skaters. There are like Tage Thompson is really good. Chara was a good defenseman, but like it's actually if you look at people that are that tall, it's actually harder for them to do a lot of the same balance and skating mechanics. So you have to be like insanely skilled. Natural balance. Chara also just biked the Tour de France course in the off season. What? Yeah. Wait, what's the guy's name? Did you wait? You said his name, Alexander Karmanov. Assuming Russian. Alexander Karmanov, elite prospects. He's currently playing for the Scranton Knights 16U AAA. And he is 6'11" and 215 pounds, and he's 16 years old. That is absolutely ridiculous. I hope he's good. Any NHL team would salivate over drafting someone like that, but they'd have to be skilled, though. Why is my music so loud right now? I don't get it. Alright, anyways. Hello, everyone. So we're going to be yapping today. Quick little yap. That's what we do. Max never looks at YouTube chat, man. That's literally where I read the 6'11" hockey defenseman thing. What do you mean? What do you mean, buddy? I do. What are we going to yap about today? Well, I was thinking that what we might do is field, and I know they're going to get stolen, but Blizzardman asked me for like a rough draft of the questions that I would ask. So we might want to like make some questions. They'll get stolen. It's okay. I'm just going to ask them anyway because maybe they're asking a different person. Ask them if they fired the prepatch developers. Dude, I wonder if people actually like think before they type shit like that. Like just imagine I'm talking to like Morgan Day or something, and then I ask, "Hey, did you guys fire the prepatch developer?" I just would love to see the reaction. Just like he would just be like, "Are you a fucking idiot?" um Max, do you consider yourself a goober or a rascal? I think I'm a goober with rascal tendencies. I can definitely be a little rascal sometimes, but I'm a goober for sure. Yeah, also there's a little bit more context to the AUG changes that happened recently. So someone like me who has not really kept up with AUG since the end of last expansion, because why would I have to care about anything since season 3? When I saw those AUG nerfs, I'm like, damn, they're really nerfing AUG. But I missed one critical thing, that AUG apparently got like their personal damage buffed in beta. Like AUG's personal damage is much higher than it was in this expansion. And with that has to come a nerf to the support they're giving, and then that's just what that nerf was. So I originally read that nerf, and I was like, damn, AUGs are going to be trash now. But it turns out on beta, AUGs were like way better than people thought. Like they were like top DPS in dungeons because they were doing the same support as they used to, but their personal damage got buffed a lot. So they had to this was a nerf that I guess you could have known was coming if you were paying attention, which I wasn't. Max, I took your AUG is dead take and ran with it, and Tettles owned me. Oh, get fucking owned. What did you do? Did you go into stream and you were like, no, Tettles, you're wrong. AUG is dead. Dude, you guys should not, you should not fucking listen to me, man. I've been telling you this. Max, you should start making content with unban requests. Would be hilarious. Unban requests are like 10% funny. Like 10% of unban requests are good content. It's someone who said something really funny and got banned for a stupid reason, and you can laugh at the funny thing they said. Or it's like someone who said something normal and got banned on accident, and that's funny, and then we unban them. And then like the rest of unban comments or unban requests are people trying to be funny and are not funny people, and it's just like not good content. And then the majority of unban requests is just someone who very rightfully got banned but then very rightfully got banned and is using the unban request to just have one more opportunity to call you a slur. That's like more than half of the unban requests. It's just they're just getting their last little shot at you, and I don't know, streaming that doesn't really make any sense. Max, setup reviews are crazy content. I know, man. Frank every now and then just like throws this little tidbit of information my way. He's like, by the way, if you did a UI or setup review, it would do good numbers. I'm like, yeah, I know. I know, man. But I don't like doing them all the time, so I'm gonna wait. I love logging on to Alliance and seeing politics in trade chat. Yeah, it's like a localized Twitter feed. What's the plug on the wallpaper? It's a wallpaper engine type tentacle. Turn off the anime filter. When are you gonna get people on to talk about the best class? I don't know, man. Whenever I want. Max, have you watched the Bench podcast? No, I don't know what that means. The Bench podcast. Is that the thing that Growl's doing? I saw Growl announced a podcast. Is it called The Bench? Oh yeah, well you guys are typing about Growl now, so it must be that one. You have to have a big bench. What's the point of the... Oh, it's like sitting on a WoW bench? No, I haven't listened to it or I didn't know the name, but I know now. The Bench. I guess that's a good... Let's cook up, guys. Let's cook up good WoW podcast names. Obviously, the Potty C is very much fits our brand, but is like the worst title of all time. But I mean, that's kind of the bit. What's like a good WoW podcast name? The Bench is solid. Someone just typed the cum zone. Dude, it's such a stupid, not funny joke, but for some reason, at the perfectly right time, that made me laugh really hard. Just like the fucking cum zone. Okay, kicked and banned, rage quit. Rage quit's a good one. Rage quit's a really good. Dude, has no one named a gaming podcast Rage Quit yet? That is a fucking banger. That's like not even WoW related. That would be like someone has to have done that. One second. That's like a top tier podcast name. Let's see. Rage Quit podcast. Yep, someone's done it. It doesn't look like it's good, or at the very least, it's not like well known or well followed. But yeah, someone's done it. Wait, Rage Quit podcast. It's a Norse leisure podcast. That I would not have expected. For sure. But all good. All right. Okay. Let's see, disbanded. The Cutting Edge podcast, maybe, yeah. You can name your podcast something like Mage's Council or whatever, where there only one guy was a mage. Yeah. The podcast was called The Mage Table, and just only one of them's a mage. Such a confusing title. Like that, like, dude, calling a mage specific, like 4 mages, 3 mages talking about mage stuff, calling that podcast The Mage Table is a perfect podcast name. So that's what I assumed. But it's just a regular WoW podcast where one of them is a mage. The Mole People Consortium. Yeah, the Mole People bit is crazy, yeah. What is it? Potty C. Someone earlier said it's direct competition for Potty C. So I actually have a lot of insight into this because I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I started doing this like the last 5 years or so, and like my list of podcasts that I watch all the episodes of has grown. I don't think podcasts really compete with each other. Like they technically do, because if you're going to listen to a podcast and you have a certain amount of time, you have to pick one. But people who really like podcasts, it's a very daily, like, normal thing for them, and it actually like helps. You'll even see a lot of these podcasts. Oh, let's just vacuum stuff. One second, let me close my door. They kind of feed off of each other. Like I don't like if I find a really good sports podcast and like that person has a guest on and it's someone promoting their podcast by having them on there, I don't think that steals viewers. I think it is a good advertisement for other podcasts, because like generally if you like a podcast, you're gonna be listening to that for a bit. It becomes something you're used to. What is it? Growl said he wants to become rich and famous from big podcast money. Yeah, you should. The newest Wowhead tweet is the bravest thing they've ever done, and I will not read comments. Wait, what did they tweet? Oh, I'm assuming you're not referring to memory items from Radiant Echoes now stacked to 100. You're referring to Olympic competitors in Azeroth banned from the 2026 Olympics because of systematic doping through the unauthorized use of power infusion and potions of ultimate power. Yeah, that is a brave. You put that pretty well. Yeah, that is a like the risk versus the reward of this tweet is not, I would not say is gonna pay off probably, but it's a pretty good tweet. You power infusion dopers, you guys have your time coming for sure. If people get mad over it, they are idiots. Well, it turns out there's a lot of idiots. And there's a lot of idiots that are WoW fans specifically. Yeah, Twitter will often remind you. Dude, have you guys ever thought about what a alternate reality would be like where we're in 2024 but there was no social media, and how differently you would intake information, and like would you even be aware of any ongoing controversy of like a bunch of fucking weirdos calling this girl a guy for no fucking reason? Like, would you even, you wouldn't even know. You would just be like living your life. I don't know, like maybe you'd read about it in the paper, or maybe some like online forum or something like before that, whatever existed before social media. But it just makes you think like how different information, I guess, like social media, well, it is really good. I think one thing social media has absolutely done is like spread hate. Like that has relatively ramped higher. Like there's always been hate, but I think like haters, I guess is that way the way to say it, haters have found like more people like them, and they are constantly fed that loop of hate, and then it's just like it feeds off each other, you know? What is it? It's definitely because the opponent made it a thing when resigning. Yeah, I think the craziest thing of all of it is that the people who are saying that that girl was trans are assuming that Algeria, of all companies, of all countries, would have sent a trans athlete. It's illegal. Like, it is culturally not acceptable, and I think legally it is illegal to transition in that country. Like, it would, like, you could not pause that. The most comical country just say that they did that. Damn. Yeah, she would be in prison. Fucking love that shit. I wonder, actually, I'm interested in how that country is handling all of this. I never thought about that, because like you get stuck in like the feedback loop in like America and stuff like that, and how the fucking ongoing dog shit culture wars that are happening here that probably most people in the world don't care about. But like that country has to either like, wait, they put out a statement. Maybe they already hate America. Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't like America, but this has nothing to do with America, right? This is Italy and Algeria, and so like I'm thinking the way that Algeria would have stated it. Check their official Twitter, bro. Do countries just have official Twitters? Algeria. Is it Algeria tweet? Is it that one? What's the fucking Twitter handle for an entire country? Algeria official. I see. Oh wait, I mean, all right, who knows? Woo. Max, what's a cool Olympic story going on right now? I live under a rock. What are like the cool Olympic stories? There was a very not cool Olympic story yesterday where a bunch of dumbasses were harassing some woman from Algeria for hitting someone so hard in a boxing match, hitting an Olympic boxer so hard that they immediately quit and called them a man. That's actually what happened. That was not a good story. That's not a cool story. That's super fucked up. Okay. There's a couple of, so there's like the Turkish shooter guy. So like there was this, I mean, I don't even know how to search for this. How would you, Dieketch, is that his last name? I know it has a, an ornamentation on one of the letters. All right, this is it, right? So like, it's this guy on the right. Like all these people who show up to the shooting competition wear these like crazy goggles, and like fucking all this stuff is allowed. And then this guy just pulls up and is like, looks like some guy who doesn't give a fuck. Just sits there with his hand in his pocket, and this guy like got the silver medal without giving a single fuck. Meanwhile, everyone else is like using this crazy ass shit. So that's a cool story. There's fan stuff about him, Agent, we need you for one last job. I'm retired. You have to do it for your country. Fine. Like he's a hitman. Good. Remember to keep a low profile. Then he just fucking pulls up. He's like, oh, whatever. Just fucking shoots that shit. Dude has built-in optics. So that's a good one. There's also the pommel horse guy. So pommel horse is a gymnastics routine. And like this is the American guy, and like America hasn't won a group gymnastics medal in like a super long time, and like this guy was the last guy, and he like had his glasses on and then he took them off. People were calling him Superman, like some Clark Kent shit. And then, oh wait, I don't think I can watch this. If I know anything, it's that NBC will copy. I might actually get my YouTube VOD nuked from today because I like played 1 second of this. So, yeah, I won't be showing you that. But he did some crazy ass shit. He's a huge beast. Yeah, let's see. There was another one from the shooting thing. Like before the Turkish hitman guy, there was that one girl, fuck, I forget her name. I don't think it was her. It was just some girl who looked unbelievably fucking cool. Like, it is her? Yeah, but like that's not a good picture though. Like the picture from the side just shows her looking like an absolute fucking main character. It's a different angle that is important. Oh, so that's her name though, Kim Yeji. This is her. This is her like doing the shot. Look how fucking cool she looks.
And it's there. It's there. The world record has gone.
Just got a world record, by the way. Nonchalant, looks right at the fucking camera. Holy fuck. It's whatever. Flips up the little eye thing. Fuck it. Little camera look. What's up? Back to the gun. Don't give a fuck about anything. Back to the camera. Little world record. No problem, by the way. Gold medal. Just gonna walk away. All good. Went hard as fuck. She got silver. Alright, this is all worthless then. Everything I just said was a lie. Oh yeah, she planted a little Korean flag on that bitch too. Look at that. Yeah, the only thing I didn't get... Okay, so Echo made a tweet yesterday. They tweeted Echo versus Liquid. And there's so many parts of this that are strange. Okay, so let's diagnose this. So I assume if you're posting this picture, you think... Like, you want to be the cool guy, right? Like, this is the corny... Look at this guy trying so hard with all of his gadgets and shit. And this is the guy that is really cool. So let's just go with the first assumption that Echo thinks they're this guy. This guy won. The guy on the right. So their meme was saying, okay, we're in second, which is interesting. That one. Okay. Now let's back up a little bit and let's just... I think they think they're this guy. But let's just actually look at this the other way, because I don't think they're saying Echo versus Liquid were the gold medal, because there would be like a cooler way to post that. I'm a little biased, but objectively, if you're going to talk about the guy who's using all the gadgets and shit, that is not us. Like, we are perennially this guy. We are the just pull the boss and fucking figure it out, and they're the like... Let's build a fucking machine that does all this shit for us. It's like the whole bit of how our guilds work is the total opposite of what they're posting. And then on top of that, if you guys were wondering what our guild quote tweeted this, I still think so many people don't know what this means. Here, one second. Where's team? Or it would be Liquid Guild, right? Oh, same icon. Okay. We tweeted sneak.lua versus handling private ores of the macro. I still don't, people really don't understand what this means, but this is like talking about FireRack, right? We only found this out like a month ago. Echo had a program to not deal, the private auras that you guys pressed macros to make work in the first intermission and the jails and P2, they just didn't do that. I don't know exactly how it works, but they didn't have to deal with private aura shit. On that boss. So that's like peak this guy. That's peak fucking this guy right here. Like that is fucking, you got the fucking gadgets working on all different angles, right? Like this is, come on. All I'm saying is we're this guy. Even if they're in second, this guy's cool as fuck. That's me. That's fucking me. Dude, you know what rubs me the wrong way about the private aura shit too is when I was talking with Echo right after the raid, I mentioned private auras multiple times. Like, yeah, man, wasn't it annoying to like press a macro during the first intermission? And like all this stuff, like, man, it was so annoying. We lost so many wipes to that. We probably lost hours and hours of progression, probably 30, 40, 50 wipes to making that private aura macro shit work. And they were like, yeah, it sucks. And then they were like kind of quiet about it. And then they immediately fucking remove it. So they immediately stop using it after progression. So I guess no one else finds out about it, or we don't find out about it so we can make one or get mad about it or whatever. So then they like have to relearn FireRack by pressing macros and turbo wiping to it. Like, I don't know, man. Just say it, you know? Just say you did that shit. It's all good. Anyways, that's the whole lore behind sneak.lua. Because, like, I feel like a lot of people didn't know this bit. This sneak lua bit. Because if you know about this, this is a fucking god tier snapback. This is an insane snapback, but it's just, I like barely even public, and I don't even know how many people even know what this means. But anyways, we're this guy. I'm the Turkish man. That guy's the coolest guy I've ever seen in my life. What is it, Max? Have you covered the outrage regarding the recent Arcane Mage changes? You should see the forum. Wait, like design changes or nerfing them? Because weren't they like super OP? WoW forums? What is it? No, not 5 minutes ago. They said it's reverted. The bug fix for Nether Precision kills Barrage. Oh, but they reverted it, so there's nothing to talk about, right? I haven't looked at the forums in a while, though. I don't even know how to look at this. Is it general discussion? This can go to hell. All right, perfect. 1 minute. Bronze time lock can go straight to hell. I don't want this ability on my bars, but no matter how many times I remove it, it comes back. What is that? Is that the dragon riding ability that like remembers your place? Okay, to be fair, keeping it a buck, this is the most fucking useless ability of all time. Like this ability should not exist. It kind of would make sense if when you dismounted, this would like stay there, so you could almost use it as like a secondary Hearthstone or something. But like I feel like as an actual like dragon riding thing, like it doesn't seem like there's a lot of applications for it. Okay, that's a banger Wowhead post. It's just crazy to me that like it is wild. You think this is this okay? Is this what Growl means when he says mole people? Like the kind of person that is playing WoW and bronze time lock is on their bars and they open up the WoW forums to post about it. Like that's peak mole, I think. 2 in-game DPS meter alternative ideas that I might suggest implementing. Oh, this is interesting. I get it. Most people will use add-ons, and having an in-game DPS meter probably isn't the mindset Blizzard wants players to have, as it could potentially lead to even more griefing? Does that mean griefing other players for them doing poorly? I'm assuming that's what that means. When I saw griefing, I thought it meant like intentionally griefing your group, but I think that's what they mean by that. He means harassment, yeah. So I'd like to suggest 2 possible solutions. The first is simple. A revamped target dummy. When you walk up to a target dummy, it is instead an NPC that gives you 2 options. I'd like to test my abilities against a single combatant or multiple. Whatever you click, it spawns in a hostile dummy or group of dummies, and a timer appears on your screen. You get a 5-second countdown, and the on-screen timer starts counting down. I'd say give it a 2 to 3 minute timer. Once the timer expires, the game will tell you how much damage you did in the allotted time. Easy peasy, gives players a rough benchmark of their performance, and they can ask other players of a damage number to shoot for. So the entire problem with this is by hitting target dummies, you're doing no mechanics, and the only for people who want to like challenge themselves and do well, you want to challenge yourself on a boss that's trying to kill you while you are increasing your damage, and you're not going to do that really well from the first pull, but you get better and better and better and better, and then that's what you're testing yourself on, right? So like hitting a dummy doesn't do fucking anything. So it's about doing it on actual content that requires you to actually play the game while doing that. Let's see. The second idea is what I'll just call anonymous DPS meters, which is exactly what it sounds like. F? Why are you guys effing? Your stream is dead? Am I dead on YouTube? Wait, Twitch fucking shit on my stream? That's insane. Wait, saved? What just happened? That wasn't, guys, that wasn't me. Yeah, YouTube W, Twitch L, by the way. That wasn't me. Unless it said, like, copyright takedown, it's not packet loss. I have 0 dropped frames on YouTube or Twitch. It is a purely Twitch problem. It is not a, if it was a player error, it's a Twitch L. Yeah, Twitch L. Holy fuck, what a YouTube W. Yeah, believe me, if I was ever going to get either one of my streams taken down, it would definitely be YouTube. I don't think... I've never even heard of that. Have you guys ever heard of a Twitch stream being, like, struck down midstream from the thing they did? No 3-strike bullshit, just like, hey, this stream is not... Like, I mean, maybe if you're streaming, like, actual illegal shit. But, like, I'm talking, like, from watching a 5-minute YouTube video. Like, no way. I've never seen that. Because it's happened to me multiple times on YouTube, but never on Twitch. Yeah, but it's obvious restreams of shit. Okay, let's keep going. The second idea is what I'll call anonymous DPS meters, which is exactly what it sounds like. Once you complete either a full dungeon or a single raid boss, have it show your performance in comparison to other people in your raid. However, it doesn't show their names or even classes, simply how much damage you did and how much damage other people did. Have it show your performance in comparison to other people in your raid. However, it doesn't show their names or even classes, simply how much damage you did and how much damage other people did. So in this scenario, would logs not work? Because, like, then you... Like, logs not working would be super bad. Then how would you, like, make good decisions on what classes are doing well on things? Right? My thinking is that by keeping anonymity, it attempts to alleviate any sort of witch hunt, at least using in-game tools, and also relieves potential anxiety by allowing the player to feel like Even if they perform poorly, they can sort of hide behind that anonymity. Nah, this is tough. The objective here is to simply allow a player to gauge your own performance without the express need to use third-party tools. Also lowers the barrier of entry for new players to see their relative performance. Yeah, it definitely hurts new players. Like I bet it sucks as a new player to like not want to do higher level content because you feel like people will see your damage and then kick you. And even though they're not like slandering you most of the time, you may feel like you're being removed from a group. I don't know. Like imagine you're in a group in real life and then like you can't hang out with your friends anymore or something. It's not really that deep, but like that would just feel bad, right? And then you like feel this need to perform, which has people not interact with the content at all. It makes sense. Like if a new game comes out and doesn't want a damage meter, I kind of get it. Because, like, players who want to optimize will find a way. And, like, most players won't feel like shit. Because some people just can't handle that. Like, I think damage meters are objectively good if everyone knew how to control themselves. Because it helps the betterment of you and everyone around you. It helps you problem solve. All kinds of things, having logs and damage meters. But, like, it's like, what can gamers handle? And, like, damage meters turn some people into, like, old Call of Duty lobbies. They just like can't handle it, right? Why does damage meter matter when you're a Delphine? Some people want Final Fantasy method of banning any player that mentions and complains about meters. Yeah, it's kind of insane, for sure. But actually, the whole "this is why they made delves" is very true. This is very accurate. This is probably why they made delves. For these people, for mole people. Max, did you see JB's tweet about the podcaster going ballistic on Wowhead? Oh, I forgot about that. Let's see. I think I responded to that earlier. Because I responded to it. Basically, I saw this. Wowhead did a normal post where this guy, a couple WoW Classic developers went on this guy's pod. This guy, looking like a huge Chad. Love that. Got a cute little dog. He, basically this guy did a podcast thing to talk to Classic developers about what's next for Season of Discovery. And then Wowhead just listened to the whole podcast and summarized the points, which they do with every interview ever, and they also do a bunch of interviews on their own, and that's kind of their job. When you're doing an interview, you're doing a journalism, and then what's going to happen to that is news aggregators like Wowhead are going to aggregate your news. That's what happens. That's life, right? Nothing weird about that. And then he responds with, Wowhead is a leeching website run by absolute scumbags without a creative bone in their bodies. This will get some hate, but only by fuckwits. But this is not a shout out or a spotlight for a creator. They've just written a 1,500 word article basically transcribing my interview. Oh, man. That is fucking good shit. So there's a lot of things wrong with this. Wowhead doesn't need to do shoutouts or spotlights for a creator, and commonly misunderstood that being accepted to do a Blizzard interview is not a spotlight on you as a creator. It may act that way, but it's not something you've been given like you won a fucking giveaway or a prize, and now you're getting what's yours. You are, as a WoW creator, you frequently, daily, speak to your chat or speak to your community about problems they have in WoW or things that they would maybe want to ask developers on. Like, really, if you think about it, that's what you're talking about all the time. And when you are asked to do an interview, or you asked to do an interview and get accepted for it, you're going to get an increase in viewership from that. You're going to get a spotlight, even though that's not the point. But you are going to get that. And then, in turn, you just have to... They want to hear from your community. They don't give a fuck about you. They want to hear from your community. That's why they get people from different parts of the game. And it's pretty easy for you to compile questions, which we're going to do a little bit after this for my interview coming up. To kind of get a general set of questions that your community cares about and want answers to, right? So it's like a trade. They're going to give you a little clout. You're going to get a nice big viewership bump, maybe, depending on what kind of content you make, by releasing this interview. That's nice for you. And then in turn, you're going to like let them hear from the community. Benefits the community, benefits the streamer, anything. And then I tweeted responding to this saying, completely disagree with this. Not a big Wowhead guy, but when any creator does an interview, it's not theirs. It doesn't belong to them. It's for the community using you as an outlet. Wowhead giving that information out, which is literally just a WoW fan website, makes perfect sense. And then any creator telling people to wait to react to it or anything else is totally missing the point. And then also I pointed out, he did say that this tweet will get some hate, but only by fuckwits. So I did want to point out that I am a fuckwit. So maybe don't listen to what I'm saying. But it's all there. And then that's basically it. That's what happened. And then you're referring to the JB tweet. Probably as a quote tweet. Did he quote? Can you not view quotes? How do you view quotes? You have to... Oh. That's... I don't like that. Okay. JB. My number one piece of advice to WoW content creators is to piss off everyone at Wowhead. Identify any potential bridge with them and set it on fire. Call them names too. Fuck it. Just let it rip. Yeah. And then one of you idiots responded with that AI image of a shrimp that you made to make fun of my posture, which I wasn't even shrimping the other day. And you guys are saying, nah, your opinion is shrimply wrong. I don't know why you guys are like this. Just fucking be normal, man. Please. Try being shrimply right? Yeah. All right, well, that's it. That's the Twitter update, I guess. I don't know. Wowhead has some problems with it for sure. Like every time I click on a Wowhead article and they like are reposting the same thing for the 5th time and you read it and it's just completely jumbled, like actually copy paste data mining text nonsense that is impossible to read, and like clearly almost no time went into this particular post. Not all of them are like this, but those posts exist, and those posts do make me want to die, and that I struggle with. But I don't know. A lot of people use Wowhead, and Wowhead is good at this as a like source of information. If you want to keep up with what's happening in WoW, that's here. If a developer for Classic, you can click Classic here at the top if you want to go to Classic specifically, or you used to. Yeah, right here. Like you can go to like Retail, Classic, whatever. Like if someone's going to the Classic one of these and they want to stay on top of Classic news, you might actually be really interested in knowing what a developer interview said during a podcast. And hey, maybe you don't want to listen to an hour-long podcast. Maybe, which they do link it, which I bet turbo fucking increased the viewership of this video. Not positive, but like, you definitely got it. Like, Wowhead has only helped you here, by the way. And they're summarizing what has been... Someone listened to this whole podcast and actually made notes. This was actually good work and totally makes sense for what this website is supposed to do. So, yeah, I think the guy who runs this podcast is fucking clueless. That's what I've gleaned from this. Actually, let's find out. All right. YouTube Blizzard interview. Let's see what kind of viewership we're getting here in comparison. Maybe I'm wrong. 1.7, 1.1, 1.1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.2, 1.8, 1K, 1K, 2K. 7K. That's weird. Just like 5 times higher than the average of the previous 5 videos. 4 times higher. Let's just fucking slander Wowhead for covering important news. What a fuck, that's so fucking stupid. Also, like, how can you be so lost and not realize that? That's crazy. Now, not to say that Wowhead is the reason that they got this many views, but maybe the reason they got this many views is because they're interviewing someone from Blizzard. That's pretty cool, right? That's something that, like, not a lot of the other people have access to that information, which you were granted as a privilege. That's not, like, something you are owed, right? So, like, you should be thankful to Blizzard and probably thankful to Wowhead for blowing up your content, but instead you're, like, taking some weird ownership of it. I don't know. It's strange. He was just influenced by JB. Yeah, unfortunately, maybe, but unfortunately, JB did quote tweet this almost a day after it happened. But yeah, still hasn't fixed the thumbnail. What thumbnail? Oh yeah, his thumbnail. The thumbnail has a big white bar on the right. I mean, who fucking cares? A gaming podcast where it's not my opinion that matters, it's yours. What? I guess that's true. Like, people's opinion of you matters for your viewership, but I mean, people are kind of listening to your podcast for your opinions, unless you're bringing on viewers to give their opinions, and your bit is that they're always right and you're always wrong or something. I don't know. That's kind of a crazy podcast concept. Fucking wild. Let's go. Potty see, but you bring on moles. Yes, and always defer to them. I'm going to make a podcast where I only have bad takes and bring on viewers. There's a lot of those. It's all the, like, masculine, like, alpha male podcasts. That's, like, pretty much what happens. They just have the worst takes of all time. By the way, I've never actually listened to one of these podcasts. I've just seen clips of it on Twitter, and it is fucking hilarious. Actually, I haven't seen one of those in a while. I feel like that was all over my fucking, I feel like that was all over my feed, like a year ago or so. Max versus Wowhead commenters as a bonus potty C would be a blast. What do you mean? Like, finding the craziest Wowhead comment ever and then talking to them on my channel? Okay, here's the funny thing. That in theory would be great content, but you're vastly misunderstanding how comments like that come to be. Like, 1% of those people would bring that kind of energy when actually speaking to another human. Some people that have seemingly happy lives with a wife and kids and a good job go to work, and then they come home, and then they're absolute demons on the keyboard. Like, they just it's like either it's like a way to let it all out, or a way to, like, relieve stress, or to something. I don't know, but it is a wild world. I doubt a lot of those people would ever even be like, they would probably be so agreeable. Like, they would just say some crazy shit and you'd be like, well, what about this? And then they'd just be like, yeah, I don't know, it's good, WoW's great, yeah, love WoW. You know, after just typing like, WoW is the fucking scum of the earth. Like, I just think that's how those people are built. They're kind of built dog shit. What is it? Longtime lurker and race watcher. Love your content, though, and you're awesome. Good night from Sweden. Oh, thank you. But if you were really a fan, you'd stay up and listen until I stopped. Just work on that for next time. Max, are you playing the D4 season on Tuesday? Maybe. Let me ask. Let me see. I was asking some boys the other day to see if we were gaming. I have an opportunity to do a... Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. I'm fucking kidding. Please go to bed. Please do not do that. Okay. Don't call me sir either. I don't like that shit. We have... Okay, I have an offer to do... Actually, I don't want to spoil it. Has it been announced? One second. I was asked to do something that's next week. But I kind of don't want to do it if I'm going to be playing Diablo. Let me... I just need... I don't even know where the fuck I would check and see if it's been announced. Actually, I know. I know where. Oh, it has been announced. Okay, fuck yeah. It was announced an hour ago. It's the... So... Prepare to discover the dark secrets of the world in the land of shadows. So if you guys have seen the last two Elden Ring Twitch rivals, which I was a part of, won the PvP championship in both of them with my partner. Partners in the second one. I have a pot. Actually, you know what? Let's go. Fucking pot. 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 Y'all see this shit? Pot. Okay. Okay, so you know about pot now. Where's this thing? All right, go back to... Okay, so pot. I have two of those motherfuckers for both times that I've won this. But the problem is I delayed doing the Elden Ring DLC so I could do it on stream probably after the race at this point. I think Elden Ring content is better not when it comes out because people have watched it and they can watch you do something they've done rather than everyone doing it and watching it at the same time, which is weird. So they're doing this where I haven't actually played the game. So I probably wouldn't be very good at it, and I don't want to, like, grind it this weekend. So, yeah. But I will do this. Maybe I'll just do this, because you get paid for this, too. I'll do this if the boys don't want to play the Diablo season. But I kind of want to play... Diablo season... I'm really looking forward to the Diablo expansion, but Season 4 basically wasn't a season. It was just, like, rebuilding the game. And Season 4 was fucking incredible. So I'm interested to play what Season 4 was, but just actually a season. Or maybe if the season looks cool, I'm not sure. But yeah. Nah, fuck that. Load that shit up now. Do you know what's kind of crazy about Twitch Rivals? Twitch Rivals gets sensationally low viewership. For some reason. I don't know why. It's like either not marketed very well or... Like last time they had a bunch of people in it. They had like... It was like our team. It was like XQC and Mendo. It was Toast. It was all kinds of like people. And like it had like 1,000 viewers or something. It's a nice little paycheck, though. Dude, I'm so excited for Delves. I can't wait to roleplay as a mole with Brand Bronzebeard. I will reunite the mole faction as I get epic loots. I will be the funniest mole delver. I will conquer all the delves. Yes. Wait, mole dude. Max, I'm calling you sir every time you do the mole people bit. I've had enough. Why are you just named mole dude? You've been named you've been following my channel for 6 years and you've just had the name mole dude the whole time? What the? Did you change your name to that? Dorky thinks I'm fake? No, he's not. He's fucking... Look. He has 1,000+ messages. He's a 2014 Twitch account following for 6 years. Previously subbed for 53 months. It could be a name. How do name changes work? Can you just change your Twitch name? And a mole pick? Yeah. Ban him for unsubbing? What? That's crazy. You gave me 50 at bare minimum 53 times 5, right? You bare minimum gave me $250 and was like, okay, well, I'm not going to give you another $5. All right, well, be gone forever, buddy. Or it was Twitch Prime. I get the dollars no matter what, so. What is it? Nah, I gave you $0. All Twitch Primes stay small. What the fuck? Okay. Dude, I'm really glad they announced this an hour ago, because when I said I might not do Diablo next week, or maybe I won't do this thing, I almost just like said this and I didn't even check if it had been announced, and it would be funny if I leaked it. But also, if I would have leaked it, would anyone have cared? Would any of you guys been like, wait, there's gonna be a Twitch Rivals next week? Twitch Rivals Delve event? Oh my god. Yeah, dude. Yeah, delves are not awesome. I know a lot of people are holding out hope that there's this tribe, uncontacted tribe of subterranean mole creatures that are just waiting for delves. It's possible. And like every time people say, and I've been saying this for months, Dratno says this all the time, hey guys, I understand I'm not the target audience and I don't really like delves, but it's possible there's a lot of people who will. Bro, I'm even stepping off of that platform. I certainly would love to be wrong. I cannot believe that there are going to be people doing what delves are, and not the 13th delve, just regular delves, and they're just like, oh my god, this is what has been missing. It's not code. All the really cool single player stuff that has existed in this game, right? Like, you don't need a group of people to do this. Like, horrific visions were awesome. The withered training scenario in whatever it was, where Suramar was awesome. Mage Tower for a lot of people was awesome. This is like, the quality of this is nowhere close to any of that. There's nothing like, I don't know. You know what would be great for me is if all these mole people unearthed during the expansion and WoW is popping the fuck off because these people love delves. But no gamer I've ever met is going to go into a delve and hit me up after it and be like, yo, dude, this is sick. Right? But I don't know any mole people. So, and there's a lot of moles that play WoW, apparently. So, they're basically quests. I mean, you can see someone do a delve on beta right now. You can find a bunch of content on it. It is, if you've ever, in like Warlords of Draenor through now, if you guys have ever done a bonus objective in like a questing zone, it's just that, but in a cave. And then it's over. And it has rewards. So, I mean, if you absolutely get bricked the fuck up for bonus objectives, then and you are maybe subterranean, you are going to love delves. But that's all it is, man. It's no better than that. But, and then here's another thing. Maybe delves get a lot better, right? It's an evergreen feature. Are class and spec trees now better than they were at the beginning of Dragonflight? I mean, like, not comparably, yes. Like, like, the average class and spec tree right now is 10 times fucking better than they were at the beginning of Dragonflight. So will these be better at the beginning of next expansion? Probably, and then they're going to be a feature that exists forever. So maybe they'll make it good. But like right now, bro, it ain't no fucking way. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't even think the moles are going to like delves. The moles. This is so stupid. The mole thing is so dumb, but it's so good. Max, do you think we'll ever have a 14 boss raid like Siege of Orgrimmar again? Probably not. I'm trying to think, when was the last time we had a ton of bosses? Weren't there a lot in the Jailer tier? What was Sepulcher? How many bosses were in Sepulcher? 11? And that felt like a million bosses. So, like, I would say the answer to that's yes. I don't think we'll ever see a 14 boss raid ever again. I think what you said is true. By the way, I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't know exactly what the sweet spot of the amount of bosses is. But let's just say I think like the least amount of bosses you'd see in a raid is like 7 or 8. And the difference between 7 or 8 and 10 is no different to me. I don't think it's a quantity better than quality thing. I also don't think that necessarily having 8 means there's going to be 2 better bosses. It's the bosses, where you get the boss in the raid is what matters. Like, the second or third boss is like super whatever. Usually when you add 2 bosses to a raid, you're adding 1 or 2 bosses there and 1 or 2 bosses in the middle, but you're not adding like real fights. There's the same amount of real fights in any raid tier. They just add kind of more filler bosses. If moles are moles and shrimps are just water moles and Max is a shrimp, wouldn't that make Max a water mole? You guys are fucking trying way too hard, man. Like, the first thing you said if moles are moles, which is like, okay, probably true, right? And then you said, and shrimps are just water moles, as if that's not a massive leap. Like, where did that come from? Of all things that shrimps could have a land counterpart, you pick moles specifically. Right? It's kind of, that's a stretch. It's not science. Don't say it's science. It's not science. Silence, water mole. Having to watch Max live stream because the new Potty CF isn't up. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Frank diff. I mean, we ended recording the podcast at 1 a.m. last night. So we were a little late this week. I had stuff. I had filming on Wednesday, and then I procced a second hockey game last night. Max, have you ever thought about live streaming yourself watching the Potty C? I've reacted to clips of the Potty C before that were really good. But, like, the whole thing, that would be crazy content farming. Like, just Potty C comes out and we watch the whole thing and react to it. 6-hour react to a 3-hour podcast. The best part is when you agree with yourself. You're just listening to yourself make a point on the podcast, and you're like, so true. Fucking yes. Yes. Max, can we react to the AMP cipher and tier list it? There's no fucking way you just... what are you saying? What did you just say? Amber's like Hyacinth at them. Dude, holy fuck, they're popping off, by the way. Also, like, low-key FaZe is having a pretty big comeback, right? I feel like FaZe was, like, completely culturally irrelevant in gaming for many years, and now they're kind of popping off again viewership-wise. That's good for them. Max, came over from YouTube since you don't read YouTube comments. That's not true. Well, I mean, if you asked that earlier and I didn't respond to you, then I can't respond to everything, man. Okay, would a raid be good if it was just 4 tendril level bosses? No. I mean, it would be good, like, if a raid tier just meant us fighting 4 tendril level bosses in a row, like, would that be interesting for us? Yes. Because, like, what really I want is, like, the more amount of total time in a year, right? Right now, we get about 3 to 4 weeks a year of, like, how long it takes us to progress really, really hard raid bosses. If that was increased to, like, 6 weeks, that'd be... Increasing the amount of time of that is... As long as it's a good boss, I don't care how long we're progressing on it. Sounds really fun. I could do an infinite amount of them. That'd be great. But, like, for the average person, I don't think so. I don't think people want to do that. There has to be, like, a good difficulty curve. People like easy bosses. People like medium bosses. People like hard bosses. If it was only hard bosses, I don't think that would be really good. No. That's basically Halandris, Anduin, Rygalon, and Jailer. I think Tindril was harder than every single one of those fights. But yeah. OG Tindril. Feels like more players would prefer to just do Mythic Plus and never step into the raid if it was an option. Depends on what you like. Hard PvE content is hard PvE content. Main reason people don't like raid is just because this has 20 people. It's hard to find 20 people you want to raid with and have to deal with all the things that come with that. Like, if there was, like, let's just say, just for the sake of argument, let's say there was literally 5-man versions of raiding. So you could find the same 5 people and you could do a really, really well-made mythic boss fight that took a lot of time to progress and get better at. It would be huge. It has nothing to do with the content of raiding. It's just the people. Raiding is huge. A ton of people raid. But 20 man's the problem. If there is one. Max, do you guys take personal W's for being the first to kill Halandris and Tindril even if you lose the race? No. They should let us do delves already. Yeah, man. Wouldn't that be so fucking amazing? Dude, I just... Like, I'm not logging on the pre-patch right now, but if you could do delves early, oh my fucking god, dude. Just like a couple of Dragonflight delves just to, like, give us that fucking taste to be ready for the expansion. Holy shit. Dude, I'm such a hater. I sound like such a fucking hater. But I just... Bruh, I just think delves suck. I don't know, man. Alright, we got something here, boys. We got a package. Oh, my dogs think it's a bark box. Yo, guys, I want to show you something. You know, I usually tell you no free ads. And I don't even know Liquid might be mad about me for this. mad at me for this, but I have a neighbor and he makes clothing, and I think it's really cool, and I just want to show it to you guys and give you the link just in case any of you guys want it. It's called Crown Jewel. He sent me a little box. He gave me a little box. Look at this shit. Little fucking box of shit. We got, here's the aesthetic. We got the shirt, little white tee, Crown Jewel collection. Here we fucking go. Wait, what is this? Actually, I haven't opened this. Oh, black shirt. Here we go. Black. Crown Jewel. Let's go. That's like the logo. Here we go. It's a mole shirt for moles. You guys don't know shit. And then I think a hoodie. Has the same thing. Crown Jewel on it. Black hoodie. So shout out him. I'm going to give you the link here in a second. If you guys want to check out his shit, I can give you his Instagram. Make sure you buy everything. He's really cool. Here we go. Let me put it in my young personal Discord. Do you guys have Discords where you just put your own like a Discord just to have links and things you save? There's probably a better way to do that, but yeah, here we go. Here's the link to his IG. So if you guys are interested in any of his stuff, check this out. Wait, why did I put it on the starting soon screen? That's good. That's extremely hype. I thought we were ending. I don't have a stream ending screen. I don't understand the point of a stream ending screen other than to like just play ads, I guess. It's like, hey, I'm gone now, but for anyone who's still here, you just run ads. I don't do that shit though. I just immediately turn my stream off. That's the plan. That's usually the ideal thing to do. A lot of people do it if they're rating someone. It's easy to raid someone. You just fucking do it. You just +/raid and then they're gone. Fuck a shit, I'll do that shit right now. Just to prove it to you. Let's go. Oh wait, no, I can't end the stream yet. God damn it. We have to think of some interview questions. Alright. Let's do some work, chat. If you had to talk to a Blizzardman, what would you ask? You guys are my community. The only reason they want to hear from me is because they want to hear from you. Obviously, defensive creep. Yeah. Oh, I have one. With Heroic Week back and Mythic 0 being the only dungeon variant available, why were the rewards nerfed from the Season 4 Dragonflight equivalent? That's one. Any plans for war bands to make the catch-up faster for alts, especially in the crest department or upgrade cost? How do they feel about the tank and healer roles health-wise? Are they happy with those roles being less appealing than the DPS role? That's kind of subjective, right? Why do classes get long paragraphs that changes while others get one word? You're the last in line, buddy. They didn't get to you in time. Are embellishments going to be most of your character's damage again? Is that true? Were embellishments most of your character's damage? Aren't embellishments like turbo dog shit? Oh, raid buffs is a great question. Raid buffs, I believe, serve... raid buffs, when mentioned in a prior interview, were given the... or were described as necessary for raid equality, or... well, that's a better way. What is a better way to put that? As were said to really only exist to make sure in a mythic raid specifically you wanted one of every class. So ideally the buff is as strong as it needs to be to make that happen, but not any stronger than that. The reason I'm asking, well, I don't need to state that, but do you have any concerns of the strength of some raid buffs over others that can dictate the Mythic Plus meta for sometimes an entire expansion? Let's see. What if they added scrolls? Do they have any idea or approach how to fix the mandatory AUG from it? Oh, I could ask the AUG thing, yeah. Different one. Long ass question. Well, you kind of have to phrase it in a way that makes sense. I'm going to do that. Yeah. Something like this. Raid buffs I mentioned in a prior reviewer said to really only exist to make sure in a mythic raid you wanted one of every class. So ideally the buff is as strong as it needs to be to make that happen, but not any stronger than that. Do you have any concerns of the strength of some raid buffs over others, which can dictate the Mythic Plus meta for sometimes an entire expansion? Nope, I'll do that. Can also fix it later. We're good. Let's see. And then maybe just as an aside, is there a world where... No, is there a world where there's no raid buffs in dungeons? No. Because, like, why raid buffs exist again is it's like if you're a druid, a classic player coming back to the game remembers they had Mark of the Wild, and they don't want to be like, well, where's my Mark of the Wild? And if Mark of the Wild only works in raid, then, like, it's going to work out in the open world. Why would it not work in dungeons, you know? You would ask about, like, drums and stuff, and they've already kind of answered that before, so... Why is there very rare loot if you can just upgrade to those eye levels anyway? So very rare doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be higher eye level. It can be higher power at the same eye level. Right? Just like a better item, as they normally are. Oh, I have one that's like kind of weird, but I've always wanted to ask. In a raid fight, you can't knock back, stun, or stop 99% of boss mechanics. Let's just say none, because you just really can't unless it's designed to be. Boss mechanics. In a raid, fight, or dungeon boss, can't knock back, stun, or stop boss mechanics. But in trash packs, it's becoming more popular to make the mobs never cast anything. Do you find this difficult to design a ideal trash experience, not knowing exactly what is going to be stopped or let through, especially different skill levels, different skill level groups? What the fuck is a trash experience? Yeah, dude, thinking about it in a non-WoW context, saying the word trash experience just sounds extremely funny. Bro, I had this crazy trash experience. What do you mean? Can you make the Mythic raid lockout work the same as heroic? I've asked that a million times. No reason to repeat it. What is this? I swear to you, there's nothing quite like the feeling of dirt between your claws and the soft glow of your headlamp as you delve deeper into the earth. It's like coming home, man. A fucking mole person in a world of sky gazers. While they're all about riding birds and swimming on land, I'm down here where it's dark, damp, and full of crunchy bugs. Delves, they're my Disneyland. Give me a claustrophobic tunnel, a nasty surprise around every corner, and a boss that's been living in the dark. Yeah, shout out mole people. Let's go. Max, go back to class feedback. The same classes get little to no feedback. Happens to the same classes for a decade now. What do you mean by that? There's classes that give less feedback to the developers, or you're just, it's like the same old thing where it's just, you want me to basically ask, hey, how come X class isn't getting any attention, which is a completely a huge waste of time. Would it be worth talking about how tier set somewhat decides if a spec is going to be good for the season? Come on, guys. I feel like when you guys are bringing shit up like this, it's like you guys have come from someone else's stream. And then, like, these can't be my viewers that are asking shit like this. Come on. Okay, why is mastery such a boring stat? It should be more spec defining and not some random percentage damage increase. That's actually kind of a good point. That being said, it probably would be super hard to balance if mastery was like super unique. But yeah. I mean, if we're going to start talking about stats, I could also just try to get them to admit that verse is just really bad. Max, why can't dungeons have good release checkpoints when delves can? That's kind of a good point. Defensives and raid buffs, man. Raid buffs absolutely suck for guilds trying to recruit. And just play with the homies in Mythic. Really, I actually my theory is that raid buffs in raid for Mythic specifically are actually like really good because you know what you need, right? You don't need to run like a specific comp that's like super good for that patch. Like, you know that everyone's on the same playing field of you want like the same 14 things, and then you have some iteration after that. So like, you know, if you have a hunter, you have a hunter. Like, you can have a second hunter, that's fine, but like, you know, you need to get your first hunter. So it's like, it kind of makes every class needed for everyone, so that should make it easier to recruit. And you can also have 2 or 3 of any of them, and that would be fine. But I'm not, I don't have to recruit like that, so I don't know exactly, but that's what makes sense to me. I got one. Are you planning less boss nerfs as gear will scale longer into the season and the inclusion of the new scaling raid power increase? Fewer? All right, you fucking little fucking fuck. You know what they made? You know what change they made recently that is low-key really, really fucking good for late-tier cutting-edge guilds? And probably just any Mythic guild, actually. Is the fact that 3 mounts drop from the end boss now instead of 2 on Mythic. That's like really, really fucking good. That reduces the amount of painful weeks of like people getting their mounts by so much. Max, please ask 1 questions about delves for the meme. I can't, man. That can mean shorter seasons too. Maybe. I guess. I mean, you could ask like, is the season length we saw in Dragonflight? They're just not going to answer that. So like, you know, like there's no reason to ask it. Nah, these questions are all boring. I actually do like that. What is the reasoning behind depleting keys giving you less crests as a penalty? Is it not sufficient enough of a penalty to not get score, not get a higher key, but also less crests? Players may feel obligated to spam easy, less challenging, easy, mindless. Nah, mindless is also the. Nah, that's fine. Easy is fine. Maybe I'll just spam easy keys for farming crests rather than playing or challenging themselves to higher keys. Easy, yeah, easy, less challenging. I can rephrase that, but definitely will rephrase that, but it's a good question. I mean, people needing crest keeps Mythic Plus active. Do you not understand what I just typed? I'm not saying you shouldn't do Mythic Plus. I'm saying spamming low Mythic Plus instead of doing a key you would maybe want to try to challenge yourself to do is a decision you won't make because the penalty of depleting it means you won't get the crest you want, which makes no sense. You're spending more time in the key, right? If you remember the post by Dobby about how Mythic rating has to change, one of his suggestions was Oldwar style hard modes to allow more challenge without making low end Mythic too brutal. No. With the prevalence of Augmentation, Evoker, Mythic Plus, do you plan to design more classes that function in a similar way? Deliberately not using the word support. I mean, they're not fucking idiots, right? What do you think? Like, by saying the word support or heavily implying support means that, like, he's gonna, like, get lost and just, like, head spins and just, like, unable to do that? That'd be great. Oh, he must not be talking about this then. Okay. Possibility of changing the 20-man Mythic model to 30 or something if they continue. What the fuck? Okay. You should ask if there should be rewards or after portals or KSM to help players try. Ah, great question. Talk about this all the time. Any thoughts about adding a reward bridge, I guess you could say, between the portals you get at a +10 and the high key late game starting at a 12, or is it 12 or 13? I think it's 13. Whatever, 12 or 13, whatever it is. Oh, +10, yeah. And the high key game starting at 12. I think that's actually less of a thing now. I actually don't think I want to ask this question because before what it was a 20, and then like high keys definitely started at a 25, and there was 5 key levels of why the fuck are we not doing a 20 for gear and why are we not doing a 25 for score? And it was like, why would you ever progress to a 25, right? And that's where they needed the breadcrumbs, but now that starts much lower. So maybe there isn't much of a need. It's literally 2 levels, right? Oh, who's at my doorbell? Oh, they dropped off some shit. That's hype. Max, are they concerned about players feeling... Ooh, great question. Are you concerned about players feeling significantly weaker going into a new season after getting used to the plus, you know, whatever, 30% or the 30% damage increase, damage slash healing, right? Increase you'll get from the scaling buff. That is a great question. It's going to be weird ending a patch and farm and then going into the new patch and your damage is nuked. Max, with the change of Mythic Plus, are you afraid people like the Kiss Curse so much that it will be boring faster in push keys? That's probably an interview. That's probably a question for like more of a Mythic Plus focused person, but that's my theory. My theory actually doesn't really have to do much with the kiss curse affixes. It has to do with what is it? It has to do with just I just think Mythic Plus will get boring. I think there not being a Fort and Tyran week and it being the same every week, there not being a push week, there being like every week is a push week. I think, and I could be totally fucking wrong, but like I just feel like a month, 2 months into the expansion, I think people are going to be bored with Mythic Plus faster than they would be in a normal season. That's what I think. It's just too similar. But hopefully I'm wrong. Oh, another doorbell. Why would you be ringing this? Oh, that person wants to talk to me. Look at that. All right, be right back. Max, raids have too many bosses. Some feel like boring homework. Please, please make less bosses for what? Let's see. I think bringing old dungeons back is really bad for new players. We don't know the old dungeons. There's no way to learn them in Heroic or Mythic 0. They should fix. They are fixing that, I think. Well, the idea to fix that is they are available in Mythic 0 and in like Heroic and shit like that, and then they increase the things, but then they just nerfed Mythic 0 recently, which makes that whole thing not make sense. Which we're already asking about that other thing. Ask about 10-man Mythic after Hall of Fame. They've already answered that. Any thoughts of reworking the Keystone deplete system to be less punishing on the leader of the key and more of a shared responsibility? That's a good... I mean, that's... I don't know. Yeah. Max, you can ask how higher keys will be timed or not timed more on survivability rather than damage. Oh, great question. With higher keys already feeling like the burden is only on staying alive and not really pushing the limits of damage needed to time it. Are you concerned with tripling the penalty of deaths that it will only compound that feeling? Max, please ask them why they removed the extra melee range talents some melee had instead of just giving it to all melee. I think they already answered that. They just think that they don't want melee to be easy. They want melee to be something you have to play around. I do agree the quality of life was kind of nice, but I could see... I actually think what they did kind of makes sense, but... Also, like, why does Rhett have 25-yard range on everything then, right? 1 second. Be right back.
What is this guy? Is he gonna get there? Oh my god. He fucking made it. What is he doing? And you're gonna pin it. That's good. Hey Max, are the devs watching the stream to prep for the interview? Probably not. I'm gonna send them the questions though, so they can be more prepared. What's your approach to class balance while still retaining class identities? How can you continue to balance class moving forward while preventing homogenization? I don't know. They basically do, like, there's a way to do that. Like, reducing the total amount of buttons would homogenize for sure. Like, that's what they're always fighting against, right? Like, button pruning leads to homogenization, giga. So they're a little weird with that. But I don't know. I think the defensive thing is pretty concerning. All right. Shroud said, sorry, I forgot to respond. I may be down to check out the new Diablo season. The changes look really good for classes. May bring Burb back, though, because those companion buffs are looking good. Dear God. He's going to do it again. Okay. Beta notes specify that the scaling raid buff maxed out at 18%. Okay. Where was that thing? Oh, I'll just type that. Max, did you see us arcane mages won against the devs? They reverted the nether precision change. You guys always win. You guys were born winning. They also seem very keen on giving most specs a blade flurry type effect, which definitely makes them feel more of the same. Huh? What melee specs have blade flurry? Do you mean like passive cleave? Like just as a concept, like you doing damage means you're going to do damage to things around you? Or do you mean that literally your abilities are hitting everything? Fury Warrior, Shadow, Assassination, probably more. Oh, I'm not familiar with Fury Warrior. Did they make it so Fury Warrior, all of its abilities hit everything when you press a button? I wasn't aware. That must be a new thing. And Shadow is Psychic Link, right? You just press Whirlwind and then your single target ability is AoE. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I think that's fine. Like, you can go back in time and just say, like, okay, are they homogenizing it because they gave another class Execute? Are they homogenizing a class because they gave Anger Management, like, cooldown reduction by spending resource to another class? Like, if like, every class had that, yeah, but you're talking, like, 3 or 4 specs in the game. I don't think that is a thing. Ask them about the glaring discrepancy in difficulty for content which rewards aspect crests. Doing a +6 is a literal joke compared to killing a mythic boss. I feel like more than just the last 2 bosses on heroic should reward aspect crests, or they should at least start at mythic +10 or something. Dude, they start at 9 now, I think, unless that changed. So part of you are right, by the way. You are right. The specifically what you said, like the like basically you always want the reward to kind of match the difficulty to get it. Like that's a good MMO or good RPG design. I think that's closer. Last 2 bosses on heroic give aspect, and a 9. A 9 is not super easy, so I think it's pretty fine where it is. Thinking about it, actually. Also, not to mention, and I think a lot of people maybe haven't come to terms with this yet, the new dungeons are a lot harder than old dungeons. Like, not key level wise, but like the dungeons are just harder. So that will matter too. So I don't know how many key levels that's worth, but it could be a lot of learning at the beginning of the season for most players that are typically striving for that.
They should just start thinking about Mythic Plus as a third type of content, PvP raid and Mythic Plus, or not just force people to Mythic Plus and do raid and vice versa. Yeah, I don't know. They're never going to do that. I also, like, I never understand. Like, I get it. It's like people just want to do one. Like, it'd be nice if you could just raid and only raid and never Mythic Plus, but it's like basically you're asking for a separate game at that point, right? Like, what's a good example of this? Like, how come in Final Fantasy you have to do Savage to get the best gear? It's like, well, they're designing the game for you to do both. How come in New World to get the most optimal drops per week, you also have to do some dungeons and you also have to do some world PvP? Like, games identify a gameplay loop they want you to do, and clearly what WoW has identified is they want you to be able to Mythic Plus whenever you want, but also one-time weekly lockout rewards on raid loot is something they also want you to do. That I can assure you will never fucking change. That will never change. That will be true for the rest of time. I definitely hear that from Twitch chatter sometimes, where they want like almost like a game like WoW released where it's just like there's nothing in the game other than just doing 5-man dungeons, and it's like tournament realm simulator, and you just like go in and you just do dungeons like that. That's just, WoW's never going to be that. I want that and a similar one for PvP. Yeah, the only problem is I think a new game like that would die on arrival. Because you need, like, to support that kind of gameplay, you need like a vast casual player base that's playing the game. Like WoW, dude, if WoW was only ever about Mythic Plus and raid and PvP, it would just instantly die. It would have never been big. It's like, it's the majority of the player base just likes it for so much simpler reasons than that. But dude, that's what I mean. That's kind of what I want to do. Like, I was actually thinking about, like, if I was ever super rich, I would want to own a hockey rink, and it would be exactly what I want. Because what I want to do is I want to play a couple hockey games. I want to lift weights so I can recover the next day efficiently, and then I want to go into a sauna. So I want to make a hockey rink with that has like saunas in every locker room, that has like a gym that you can go to afterwards. Now this rink would, this is a terrible business. This rink would bleed money. So basically my goal is I'm just going to make the business, know it's going to fail, sustain it as long as I can, and then just die. Somehow. Like that's the plan. Right, and knowing it's not going to be a successful business, but I'm just going to do something that I want to do. And that that's kind of what I could do with games too. Like, I could release a game and hire all the best fight designers, and all they do is just every like 5 days there's just some new really difficult, super challenging boss. You don't care about gear. It's just you log on with your friends and you kill really hard boss, right? Or like a Mythic Plusers version of this would be, there's just like an infinite dungeons being released, and there's always Mythic Plus, and there's no gear, and it's just, you just play the game, right? And this is a business and a game that would fail, and a business that would lose money, and a lot of games don't be made like this. But again, you could do that. You could just get rich one day, create this game, know it's going to fail as far as being like a sustainable product, but you just fund it for as long as you can until you die. Why do I have to die at the end, though? Can't the game just die? Yeah, maybe. What are you going to do with all of the crippling debt, though? Because you're not just going to go broke from having millions. You're going to also get a bunch of loans to sustain the very bad business. You got to lengthen that shit out. And then it's someone else's problem. Oh yeah, someone told me about Fellowship earlier. Max, there's a game coming out like that called Fellowship. A Fellowship game. Let's see. Let's watch the trailer. Looks so they're using the mobile engine, right?
We're very excited to
It's so funny. I'm giving you mod. That's the funniest chat I've ever seen. Oh man, I'm gonna end my stream after this. There's no point in my stream that is going to top what you just typed. Oh my god. Dude, this dude says, I'm like, oh, a game just like that, and we're all obviously talking about like permanently Mythic plus or raid, and he goes, a game about killing yourself after running a business into the ground. Oh my god, that's fucking good. That was fucking perfect, man. That is so funny. Okay.
finally get to show Fellowship to the world, a game that we've been working on for a long time. A few years ago, we founded Chief Rebel, an independent studio located in Stockholm, Sweden.
Okay.
We've put together an incredible experienced team that have worked on games like Diablo, the Just Cause series, Battlefield, Helldivers, The Division, World of Warcraft, and a bunch of other huge titles over the years.
Okay.
Here in the studio, we like to call Fellowship a multiplayer online dungeon adventure. A MODA, if you will. It's a game that celebrates our favorite endgame activity, where you will gather a bunch of friends in a group of 4 and go out and do dungeons together. And these dungeons are going to be full of enemies with their own unique abilities and tricks and strategies that you need to figure out. And of course, bosses, providing their own unique challenges that you will need to work together with your team to overcome.
Okay.
And when you do, there's loot to be had. With Fellowship, we are taking inspiration from a number of types of games that we love. So
I
there's a
mean,
bit of
this is
action
pretty much
RPG
what we were
in
just
here,
talking
there's a
about.
bit of MOBA.
It sounds like this is a game a WoW-like game purely built to just focus on that endgame loop. Yeah.
And there's a bit of MMO as well. You can jump into the endgame content straight away, and you don't have to spend hours and hours grinding just to get to the fun stuff. When you first log in, you will pick your hero, join up with your friends or find a group, and queue into a dungeon. As you level up, you'll also unlock new talents, set bonuses,
Wait, this sounds fucking sick.
and relics that provide new facets and depth to your chosen hero. As you complete
Because this is like, I don't know, I learned from Terra's Land, which is a fucking terrible game, but it had amazing content. Like, if you could just log in Terra's Land, no mobile game bullshit, it's a free-to-play game, and just do the raid content that we did with people that you raid with in WoW, it would fucking own. Like, it was surprisingly top tier. If WoW's rating is a 10 out of 10, Terra's Land is a 9. It's better rating than any other game I've played. Somehow, that random shitty game. Which makes me realize that, like, I would just play any game that had sick like boss designs, shit like that.
dungeons, you gain access to higher difficulties. As the difficulty increases, the enemies become a lot harder.
I would just endlessly
and
play
the
games like that.
rewards you receive-
And then this, do you know what annoyed me the most about playing Terra's Land? They're like, is this the WoW killer? MMO players cannot understand or even fathom the idea that you can play different games and then be done with it and go back to another game, and that's okay. Everything has to be, if you're not playing the game that you're going to play for the rest of your life, you're wasting your time.
become more powerful. The core of Fellowship is this endgame MMO-style dungeon experience.
My only question is this mobile? Because they're using this is the mobile engine. You don't have to use this engine to make a mobile game, but oftentimes mobile games do, because it's the only thing that'll make your phone not explode. Which means they could be saving money, potentially. I don't know the cost of, like, running a game on this engine.
You can jump straight from dungeon to dungeon, and you will get all the progression.
God, I hope it isn't. When you say you hope it's not a mobile game, do you mean, like, the mobile game menus and, like, the assumption of, like, pay-to-win shit when you hear mobile? Right? Because, like, I was thinking about this with Terra's Land. So, the mobile game menus are annoying, but like almost our entire group spent nothing, and they were able to do all the content day one when it came out. So the only thing that was mobile about that game was that you could never do the hardest content on it, but you could do it for your daily quest when you weren't at your computer, which kind of just seems ideal as fuck. Like, I think WoW, for example, if you could load up WoW on your phone and you couldn't really do any real content on it, but you could just do dailies if you wanted to, that would be fucking lit. That would be like better. That would be an awesome feature in WoW, right?
Rewards and everything that you need from within that content. There are two types of dungeons that players will take on: adventure and ranked.
Adventure dungeons are doing everything we know and love from our ranked dungeon format, but we want to take that experience and distill it down to 10 to
What is it? You could in Legion and do mission tables and shit? Yeah, but you couldn't log in and walk around on your character, though.
50-minute bite-sized experiences. Ranked dungeons is what this genre offers best. This is our opportunity to provide a core experience to our seasoned veterans of this genre to compete against each other on our leaderboards,
Chad, don't even fucking start.
to overcome impossible odds with their friends. and
Don't
to
even
really make their
fucking
mark on the
begin.
community. The greatest rewards in Fellowship come to the players who are willing
Y'all
to
can get the fuck
opt
outta here
into the
forever.
most challenging content. That means specifically choosing to, with your party, take on multiple dungeon modifiers at a time. In addition to the standard scaling of our dungeons, we also want to make sure that there are these added layers that don't just change the numbers of, oh, I need to hit him with a bigger stick. Now, I need to
So I just want to see like what even a raid mechanic looks like. Like okay, the tank has to soak this.
move out of the way.
That ad needs to
There's a
die.
giant fire-
Here they specifically, this looks like a cone. Like everything else that isn't this cone is gonna get fucked up. So they have this DPS standing behind the tank, and the tank is shielding them. So does one person just stand here and two need to get out, or did this guy just get hit by a frontal? I'm trying to see if there's actually like good looking mechanics in
Now
this.
freezing winds are blowing everybody off towards the edge of the map, things that change gameplay. When players enter a dungeon, they've got 3 goals to keep in mind. 1, they gotta kill all the bosses. Then, they have to make sure that the kill score is absolutely filled by killing enough of the enemies in the dungeon. And then lastly,
Dude, I'm fucking sold. Can you play this shit right now? Fuck. Sign up for the closed alpha. Yes, sir. How do I do that? Oh. The North America server for the playtest will be available from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific on August 15th. Is that before the expansion? When does the expansion come out, chat? It says you can't stream it. I don't give a fuck. I just want to play it. I'm gonna sign up for this shit. Dude, that actually, like, the entire Genesis, like, just the game design is exactly what I want. Just cool endgame loop. And obviously, it could be bad, right? Maybe the bosses are super easy, not challenging, like, built for babies type shit, mole people, and then it won't be fun. Like, when I look back on Terra's Land, the only reason Terra's Land was fun for us is because they accidentally made it infinitely harder than it should have been. And then now it's easy. Won't be better than Delves. You're right. Delves are fucking amazing. There's growing difficulty in this. Yeah, but like, okay, I think like infinitely scaling difficulty is the least fun version of content. And that's actually why I don't do a ton of Mythic Plus. Like, if every Mythic Plus key level added even the slightest mechanical difference that you had to adapt to and problem solve for, that would be fun for me. But like, it's just too boring when you have it all figured out and it's like, okay, everything just does more damage now. That is a very short lifespan with me. That's just super boring. So we'll have to see. Like, for example, if we do if let's say there's 4 dungeons in early alpha and you can just only do those 4 dungeons, that's infinitely scaling. It's like, okay, well, you get to a point where you're infinitely scaled out. Okay, cool.
Fuck yeah. Woo. I like it. How do I sign up, though? Visit playfellowship.com. Okay, I'm going to sign up. Sign up for alpha. Enter my email. Max, please pay me at gmail.com. Please select the genre you play the most. MMORPG. Sign up. Thank you. Flex says, personally think it's fun to put my abilities into a website to see what I need for which ability to live and then just repeat that all day. Yep. If Max doesn't get access to this, it's definitely streamer privilege. Bro, How could it be streamer privilege? They don't know who I am based on my fucking email. It says, please keep an eye on your email. If you're selected, we'll notify you. I'm just gonna... Okay, I do want to use my clout for this, because I really want to play this. Dorky, do you want to get a... sign up for this too? I want to play this shit. Ooh, they say that they are requiring NDAs, though. And you guys know how I am with NDAs. I fucking break them. I break them bad. Okay, they have a Twitter page. Play Fellowship. Follow. And DM. I can't DM them! I have to find a way to convince them that I'm special. Oh my god. Join our Discord. Okay. Join Fellowship. Alright, we're in. We're in the Discord. Where is the... What is it? Surely they will give away streamer keys at some point when it's fine to stream? Maybe, but if I don't get invited to this NDA alpha, which I want to do, I will, unfortunately, even though I really want to play it, I will then be forced to spite this game for the rest of its existence, and I will use any and all of my platform to tell people to not play this game and slander it. I don't deal with rejection well, but that's okay. That's the pettiest shit I've ever heard in my life. Yeah. I need to find somewhere to post that threat. Let me just, there's a channel called Fellowship Discussion. Hey guys, quick heads up. Max, join our Discord and reach out to our community manager, Hamish. Wait, are you Rock and Roll George? Are you a Fellowship enjoyer? I didn't mean what I said when I said I would slander the game, by the way. Yeah, I'll reach out to him. I'll reach out to Hamish. Hey, I like MMOs and would like to be part of the alpha. Thank you.
I feel like I feel like such a fucking goober messaging in this. I'm gonna do it. All right, I messaged him. Hopefully he doesn't hate me. By the way, Hamish is a top tier name, isn't it? The only person I've known whose name was Hamish was from New Zealand. Where does that name originate? Is it an English name? Hamish name. Scottish. It's Scottish. Supplanter, holder of the heel. What does Max mean? Max is a gender-neutral name of German origin, long held in awe of in imaginations young and old. Let's fucking go. That's huge. Stay young, kid. Yeah, it's a dog name. Oh, man. Hamish told me to fuck off, chat. I'm just kidding. He didn't respond yet. Imagine if he did, though. I get these messages all day, punk. Sign up like everybody else. Oh, that's good. Dude, there's a Fellowship Deutsch channel. Look at this. Oh my god. This is such a funny Discord channel. Look. There's just people speaking, and then this person at the bottom just goes, I don't speak Dutch, but this is my favorite channel. This is the entire history of the channel. Why'd they say that? Why is it your favorite channel? You don't know what any of this means. I don't speak Dutch. Oh, that's amazing. It's German, not Dutch. That's the fucking point. That's why I'm laughing. Hello. All right. Guys, that's the yoke. All right. What do you guys have? You guys have a good name? What's your all's name? There was a Greg in here earlier. What's Greg? Greg name. What does Greg mean? Stemming from the Greek name Gregorius and latter the Latin Gregorius, Greg means watchful or vigilant. Dude, so true. Dennis? Okay, also origin Greek and French means follower of Disonius. Dennis is a boy's name and a variant of the French name Dennis. It means follower. Bro, you're a follower. All Dennises are betas. Stay baby. Craig? Okay. I don't like Craigs. Craig is a masculine name of Scottish origin. Coming from the Gaelic word Craig, this name translates to rock. It also comes from the word crag, which describes a steep, rugged cliff that makes for a stunning sight on a Scottish coast. Yes, yes. That's good. Well, Gary. Means spear. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. What's THD's name? Kevin. The name Kevin means handsome. It has Irish roots and is derived from the name... How is it Keomin, which originated from the elements Koem meaning handsome and gain meaning birth. Okay. What's another person's name? What about Josh? Let's see it fired up. It's a truncated version of Joshua, which comes from the Hebrew name Yahashua. Central figure of the Jewish Bible and Christian Old Testament. God rescues. He is a religious zealot. Tony? Dude, Tony is such a badass name. Priceless one. Let's fucking go. Kyle? That's from Greek origin. There, I made that up. Narrow, straight, confidence, reliance, trust. It's a gender-neutral name rooted in the Gaelic word col, meaning slender or straight. Though long considered a description of Kyle of Lockouts, Kyle may find more fitting origins in the ancient king Colhan, who perished in the surrounding wilds. Damn. All right, that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow, I think.